When I first joined the animal rescue community in Alachua County, it was very divisive. There were a lot of rescue groups, rescue adoption agencies that had very similar missions, but they were working very hard and ended up working against each other.
So I joined about 8 years ago, and at the time we were still, although working towards no kill together, we were doing things all very differently within our own organizations. So we all had our own executive director. We all were looking at hiring, a fiscal administrator, fundraising, development, and we were just duplicating efforts to get to the same goal.
I started with this project in 2003 when we first got our grant from Maddie's Pet Rescue Project, which is based in Alameda, California. And Maddie's had looked at our community and thought that we were a good candidate for a community collaborative project where all of the organizations in Alachua County worked together on one goal. And that goal was going to be to end the killing of dogs and cats at animal services for the purposes of population control.
If you look at every major thing that has happened with Alachua County rescue groups in the last 2 decades, they all go back to some major legacy gift. It starts with Maddie's and the Maddie's Fund gift that came into our community in 2000-2001, $4 million to help us get to no kill. That was transformational for this community. It kind of was the catalyst that brought all of the different rescue groups into the same room, around the same table, to get over the ego and the politics of it all and start working together.
It set up this life-saving network where it wasn't all about who gets those beagles. Those are highly adoptable. I want them in my program, but I can't get out there till next week. To let's get the beagles out to safety. It doesn't matter who gets them. Let's get them into a home. It's just a completely different atmosphere.
20 years ago, when our collaboration, thanks to the Maddie's Fund, started, and all of these different moving pieces and animal welfare groups in Alachua County started working together, there were over 8,000 euthanasia a year. Now, as of 2017, we are at a 94% live release rate in this county. That means that 94% of the animals that come to Alachua County Animal Services are leaving alive.
They have completely transformed from this well-meaning but not particularly effective volunteer-driven organization to a really professional, polished, sharp nonprofit that absolutely recognizes their role in bringing all the other organizations up with them. Not rising above and saying now we're the best, but saying until everybody's at this level, our mission's not done.
The leadership team has been really instrumental in not only achieving and exceeding the goals that we have set forth in Alachua County, but reaching out to other communities and teaching them what is working so well here to hopefully impact their rates, their live release rates as a community, promote responsible pet ownership, spay, neuter, and help divert animals from going into the shelter and finding homes for the animals that do end up in the shelter.
Our community here in Alachua County, we have finally reached no kill. That is 90% of the animals at Alachua County Animal Services are making it out alive.
No kill status is something that's very interesting. It's very near and dear to my heart. It is very close to what it sounds like. So being a no kill community is about not having to euthanize animals for the reasons of overpopulation. It is something that means that every life is valuable in this community. Every animal that can be a good pet will find a home and is safe in this community and is not at risk of being put down. And there's a lot of communities across the country and even in Florida too, where that's not the case, where animals are at risk on a daily basis in government shelters and county shelters because there's not enough people to adopt them and there's not enough resources to take care of them. Pets are safe in Alachua County.